What is up, guys? It's getting cold outside, so we're getting into
shop season.
Gonna be doing projects, gonna be fixing things, upgrading things, all that kind of stuff. Today, 24 Turbo R needs a little help.
Help!
I don't know how much this is gonna change things, because I don't really know where we're at, but in the Tennessee series, it would have been on the way back from Trail 9, so that'd be Saturday, second to last day of the trip. I started bottoming out
Real hard.
and then went and did an obstacle course race and bottomed out real hard. Like, I permanently damaged not only myself, but Jesse somehow got shorter, and Pat got a little bit shorter too. Because we were hitting hard and losing my voice.
That's hard.
That's how hard it affected my larynx and medical stuff.
What?
The theme that we're kind of going with here with this machine is, like, you know, cage got done first instead of last, like previous builds. Trying to keep that going a bit here. So before I just like, oh, I need new spring. It's got 308 miles and we are bottoming out bad, and it was all of a sudden. The other thing that's noticeable, and I know the fact that now we have a heavier aftermarket cage, Far Off Road, if you need a cage, down below. That's heavier, so it might make the machine sit a little bit lower. We have bottoming out, handling's a little weird, and the thing is a low rider.
It clears a water bottle.
It barely clears a water bottle. We're gonna take a look at my official document here. These are unofficial-ish numbers here, but the front, I got it at 14 inches from the ground to the lower A-arm mount below the bolt, and about 12.5 inches to the bottom of the skid plate. That's not great. Don't remember what it would be stock, but it's probably more than this. And the rear, I didn't really know where to measure to, so I just kind of went to the radius rod bolt, 15 inches. The rear actually looks saggier than the front somehow, but the numbers are the numbers. Whatever it is, it's sitting too low, it's bottoming out too much. So instead of just jumping into, oh, I need a spring kit, we're gonna try and maintain the shocks. Since we didn't film it last time, because we were rushing for something, don't remember what, we got another set of the Schmidty racing suspension, extended volume nitrogen end caps that, ooh, excuse me, have these little caps, and now you have a Schrader valve, so you can recharge these with nitrogen. It's just normal shock maintenance that gets skipped. So they stock Walker Evans jobs here.
I'm sorry, what were you doing with that? Is that your pointer?
Huh? You'll see. These Walker Evans ones from the factory have a self-healing rubber membrane that holds your nitrogen in. And to fill it, you take this little hypodermic needle like you see on the streets, and you stab it through the the little pellet, and then you hook it up to nitrogen with all the correct air chuck and valve and all this stuff, and you fill it that way, and then you pull it out, and it's supposed to self-heal. Well, I don't know. I don't really like that. That sounds
Weird.
Having the Schrader valve, it's easier to maintain these. This kit for all four, I think it's like 180 bucks. So I'd rather start with this on a machine with 300 miles. This is an upgrade too, because you can hold more nitrogen and you can refill them a lot easier.
You sound like you're trying to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, it's weird how that works. So lucky for me is Lou bought a nitrogen tank and the equipment and hookup to fill shocks. So we're going to be taking this machine to the Dude Ranch tomorrow, where everyone's going to be, and going to install these tonight, and then Lou can fill them tomorrow. That's where we're going to get into the science here.
Stop. Seriously, stop.
I'm curious and hopeful. You might be laughing and saying, that's not how this works, dummy. But I'm hoping that it actually gives me a little bit of ride height. I'm not too optimistic on that, but a boy can dream. My original science plan too, on top of that, was to measure how much nitrogen is in these shocks with that little needle thing that I told you about, and it's got a gauge, and I jam it in there and it says, oh, this is how much is in there, dummy. Well, this dummy lost the needle, so I just have the gauge, so I am unable to do that science experiment for you guys. So before we get into the project, where we start hopefully not ruining things, I'm assuming the video came out before this, but if it didn't, our last trip to the Badlands, I Bluetoothed the shit out of my rear prop shaft.
My bad.
We got a replacement. I went with the factory one, simply because I think right now I want that to break over the diff, just because of cost and the cost of prop shafts. It's just expensive to upgrade. If you guys don't know, you can get genuine Polaris OEM parts from Crash City. It's not just clutch kits and other aftermarket stuff. They can get you guys, I don't want to fall, OEM parts as well.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So we actually already started the project, but I got to insert this in before you see that because I forgot the first step. If you're doing this on your shocks that are installed onto your machine, you got to jack it up and take all the load off of the shock. So you want it full droop, and then you do this. So first step is going to be, we got to release the nitrogen out of these because you can't remove this with nitrogen. It's simple science. To do that, there's a little screw here, and we're using a 3/32. So we're gonna remove this. It's just a little guy like this with a O-ring. We're not too worried about this anymore. So underneath this is this rubber seal job I was talking about. I guess the right way to do it would be to have this little hypodermic needle thing that I was talking about, and you stab it through, and then it's got a Schrader valve on the end of that, and you release the pressure. Very boring, and we don't have the needle. Since we're not reusing these caps, we're just gonna drill out the piece of rubber.
Should I be worried?
The instructions from Schmidty's, because this is the same set that's on the Pro XP, they talk about you gotta wear safety glasses. That's what I'm doing. That's
I'm not.
reason. You're wearing, you got safety squints.
Safety is sexy.
Yeah, this is an 1/8 inch drill bit. This is in the instructions too, as a way to do this. So we're just gonna drill up through the little rubber piece, and the nitrogen should then leak out. Well, it's got nitrogen. The way this works is I should not be talking about, well, anything and started off by saying the way this works, because I don't know shit, but my understanding is there's stuff in here like a piston and such, and then separating the two is, I don't know, the piston, and then the nitrogen is supposed to be here, and that nitrogen is pushing this cap down. So to remove it, you got to probably not use an Allen wrench, but we're gonna have to pop this up, and that will expose some sort of retaining ring, we remove that, and then we can pull this out. So I need something heavier,
Oh, nice.
like that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So now you can see that retaining ring is exposed. So I'm gonna go grab a pick and a screwdriver, and we're gonna work this bad boy out, but we need to not lose that or damage it because we're gonna reuse that. Don't lose it. Don't lose it.
Jesus. Where the fuck did it go?
Alright, so now that we've recovered that, we got to get this little cap out. And honestly, this was the most difficult part for me last time, is trying to shimmy this guy back out. Maybe we'll get lucky doing this with 300 miles as opposed to a couple thousand, but...
It's kind of moving.
Oh, I remember what I did.
What'd you do, Jeremy?
See, sometimes I have good ideas, but I just don't fucking remember them. Oh, god damn it. I don't know if it... You might have to move it to focus. But you can see that mangled piece of rubber. That's the self-healing membrane.
Oh.
Right here.
Kinda.
That we drilled through. Safety note, don't walk around with sharp objects pointing up towards your face and your pocket. To prep for installation of the new high volume cap, we're going to take one of our O-rings that is provided by Schmidty's. These are pre-greased. I did that ahead of time, so you guys didn't see me rubbing lube on things.
That's only as OnlyFans.
That would have to be OnlyFans then. So these are pre-greased. So we're going to take one, and surprise, surprise, that's going to go on the O-ring groove.
No. It's greasy.
Oh, that's greasy. That's really greasy. Yeah, it's greasy. Greasy.
Now that we have that on, the instructions call for a couple cc's of gas shock oil. This is some Polaris liquid here. That wasn't me. None of us really know what a couple cc's is. We haven't spent much time in the alleys doing drugs, so makes cool noises. I'm doing that because I'm trying to think in my head what I should do for a couple cc's. I think we'll just do a little... That's probably more than a couple cc's. So we'll wipe our excess cc's off the outside.
Couple cc's.
That's probably more than a couple cc's. Maybe we'll
Oh yeah, maybe share.
put a little cc.
Is that how you measure it?
I
How fast you say cc?
I guess. I don't really know what else to do. That's how much I use. That might be way too much, way not enough. I don't really know.
Oh, you might have to add that to another one.
You think that's more than cc's?
That looks like a lot of cc's in my opinion.
What about this one?
That looks like...
Not enough. Maybe a little more of this one. Science.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're cc'd up here, maybe?
That one still definitely has more in there, but...
More than a couple cc's?
Why don't you put it into another one? Because now you're going to get too much cc's in another one. Oh! Heavy pour.
I think that's the right cc's. Okay.
That's a couple cc's.
We've determined this is probably not a couple cc's, but this is what we're going with. But we need a clean rag.
Did you find one?
I did.
It does not look clean.
If this wasn't clean, would I do this?
Ew, you would.
It
Because you're
tastes clean.
gross.
It tastes clean. Cleanliness is paramount here. What are you doing?
Hank, come on, dude.
So we're gonna take the rag that we just licked and we're gonna just wipe this out a little bit. We can live with this.
What are you doing?
Smelling the shock.
Jesus.
You're weird, not me. So we're gonna take our new job here and
Daisy.
we're gonna slide her on up just enough to expose the groove for this guy, which is dirty too. We'll use a different rag called my shirt to clean this. You gotta work at it a little because now you have this extended high volume reservoir that is also in the way of installing the ring. If you don't have sausage fingers, it's probably already installed. If you do, have patience. I was gonna say use some of the sharp tools in your pocket, but they're gone now. So make sure that bad boy is seated all the way around, which it is, and just give her a little tug. That's it. But now this shock is pretty much deceased because it has no nitrogen. So when you're doing a project like this, make sure you have a plan right after on how you're gonna fill it. We're gonna do the other side, and then it's pretty much the same thing for the front. So I think we're just gonna do them all and then show you, and then we'll get into filling them tomorrow. Okay, so I said we're gonna pick back up when we're done, but since we couldn't do the scientific experiment showing how much nitrogen's in each one, we already missed the other rear. That's already done, but that's kind of where this idea came from. The passenger side rear had a shit ton more nitrogen than the driver's side. So we'll film the two fronts and see if there's any type of difference. I would imagine these are lower volume than the rear, so it's more going to be a comparison to each other than the rear, but we'll see what happens. Seemed like a decent amount.
A lot more than the other one.
So I guess, yeah, this front shock that I would imagine holds less had more in it based on how long it was leaking out and how aggressively it was leaking out than the rear driver's side. So interesting. All right, we will show you the driver's side front next after we get this done.
Doing a lot of that. Let it rip.
Last one. Let's see what we're looking at or listening at. Or
Listening
whatever.
to?
Yeah. This seems like a lot more than the passenger side.
I think it's about the same.
Yeah. Cool. Honestly, I was hoping there'd just be a lot less in all of them, because then maybe this fixes the issue. Oh, hey, look. The right tool for the job on the last one. That's a lot better than a drill.
No way.
We're done. It's all together. We got it back on all four tires here. We'll pick this back up tomorrow at the Dude Ranch. So we're gonna take a quick break in the video. Here at Somewhat Haggard, we don't know shit about side-by-sides. Now, one thing here at Somewhat Haggard that we know a lot about, it's fashion. So with our extensive knowledge of fashion, we were able to bring you guys merch. All 3 of these shirts here. We got sizes small to 4X. Nobody wants warm beverages. So we got koozies. Maybe it's a sticker you're looking for. Is it a sticker? How about our fist-sized latte logo right here? Black and white. Could be yours. Somewhathaggard.com. Maybe you'd rather have a Trax logo for your toolbox. Like this one here. Somewhathaggard.com.
One pair of pants later.
We have now transferred. Next day now, we're at Dudes. We got 2 bears, 1 tank, and we're gonna put some nitrogen in these bad boys and see if we get any more clearance, because this thing is sagging.
Yeah.
We're almost bottomed out here.
Sagging worse than my pants do.
So this is the benefit if you know anyone or you have access to a nitrogen tank. By putting these high volume reservoirs, you obviously can hold more nitrogen, but you can fill it yourself instead of using that little crack needle. Now Lou, for the people, how much did this setup cost? Roughly, if they were looking to do something.
Well,
like
this was a piece together setup, which is probably way more than what it would cost if you just bought it. But I mean, the gauge is the most expensive part, and then some high pressure hose because you're going up to 200 PSI. I don't know, you could probably get it all in for like 200 bucks.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's that.
And that's like what the no loss chuck, right?
Correct, even though there is some loss, because this chuck was an Amazon special, but definitely should get a better one, but it's gonna do the job.
Even though these still had some nitrogen in them, I did forget to mention yesterday that they do not come from the factory with 200.
Right.
They come from Polaris, I don't remember what, 150.
I think they're 100. Or maybe
or 120, something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely not the full 200.
Yeah.
And Jeremy did do some research, I don't know if we talked about it, but it's recommended with the Walker Evans to be at 200 PSI. Even though if you jump on the internet, everybody's gonna give you 1,000 different answers. Oh, you should do 160 up front, 140 in the rear, whatever. This is what Walker Evans wants. This is what Walker Evans is gonna get. They want 200 PSI. It's gonna get 200 PSI.
And this is straight from the instructions from Schmidty's. Apparently it's just, this is how they're engineered to work as far as the pressure. It's not a comfort level or ride height. It's just, this is how they're engineered.
The proper functionality of it.
Yeah.
How do you feel in the 200 PSI, Corey?
Well, it's definitely a comfort level for me. My machine rides like a goddamn Cadillac. It's awesome.
Yeah, it looks smooth on the race.
It's
So.
Well, when we filled his up, they all were at 100 PSI.
Yeah, from Michigan
one of them
to
was
Tennessee.
lower, wasn't it?
Yeah, one was
Like
75.
Yeah.
One was 75. But yeah, it was Michigan. It was beating the shit out of me. Tennessee, like a clock. It was awesome.
Well, that's apples and oranges. Michigan was completely stock still.
Yeah.
All the upgrades, but yeah, most definitely. On to the next one.
Why would they do that?
It definitely went up.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Sure.
Oh yeah. Fingers get tired?
Yeah. They're cramping.
Oh, your fingers hurt?
Yeah.
We just pulled landscaping duty.
My fingers hurt. What's that? My fingers hurt.
Oh, well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. Anybody else's fingers hurt?
My fingers hurt.
How you gonna do that?
Anybody else's fingers hurt? I think so. Oh, well, they got a preheat and that we'll let them do all the hard work. I'm gonna go sharpen like that.
Dude, I think it's higher.
It is higher.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Jeremy, how'd you scratch this?
Oh, you know, I get into things. I'm a real rascal. We still gotta go drive it, but the initial measurements are an increase of 1 inch in the front, 1 inch in the rear. I guess next up, we're gonna go drive it with the Bluetooth prop shaft and see how it feels. with nitrogen. Alright, we're gonna get some outside. Oh, I should talk to this camera. This is not a perfect representation, but this is what we got to work with, so this is what we're doing.
I think you need to hit this bump going at least 50.
Yeah, I'll do what I can.
Okay. It rides super smooth.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it feels so much better.
Ooh yeah, get it!
Still slow as shit, but suspension feels better. Feels like I have a suspension again.
I think it seems like it handles pretty good without a front swivel.
Oh, feels so much better.
How's it feel on the rump?
Pretty good. It's
We haven't done a rump date in a while.
well, it's stock seats, so it's always gonna feel so good. But,
you say a rump date?
yeah. That's where we talk about how our butts feel in the seats.
The rump update. I like that.
Yeah, the rump date.
Yeah, I like that.
Probably still gonna need springs in the future, but this is a lot better, I think. Doing this in dude's yard is a lot different than slamming through Tennessee trails. So.
Ho!
Did you see that?
Well, now the world sees it.
For the world sees it.
What happened?
Look at your hubcap, dog.
Crashed out.
Oh yeah.
It's that weight reduction.
I think these are, well, I have 1.5 left now.
Hey, System 3, if you're watching.
Yeah, System 3. I keep breaking these.
Why are you so rough on everything?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You know, sometimes you gotta just caress her.
That's what I thought I was doing, but I guess not.
No, they like to be beat.
Yeah?
They like to be beat. They like to be rolled down the hill 5 times too.
This one isn't really asking for that right now.
I hear it kind of whispering.
Yeah.
Beat me, Jeremy.
Because we can adjust these a little bit. The front doesn't have much on the tender. Yeah, you can adjust it, but once you collapse that, it defeats the purpose.
Did you hear Jesse?
Oh. It defeats the purpose of having the tender springs, so eventually we'll get springs on this, but I'm happy with this. We're getting somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that, yeah, front little rebuilt shocks, you can get over that log now.
I have 2-wheel drive. Let's leave.
You want me to lead you there?
I know where it's at.
Let's go. Will the golf cart make it? Not over it, but it'll make it to it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, well then let's go. I'm not jumping in that thing.
Dude, close your legs.
Shut up. Tell me to close my legs. He never tells me that.
Yeah. I'm trying to find him for Oakland. I'm gonna bump your ride though. I gotta follow him. I can't go any further.
Why?
We're trying. It's not going. Only if you had 370s.
Hey, put it in 4-wheel.
Hey, you can't park there. Hey, your front tires aren't spinning. Good thing you just washed that thing. I think you gotta hold it to the fucking floor.
I am. It doesn't go down any further.
You in high or low? Low. But you gotta hold it down in high. Back up and do it in high and hold it down.
Now I can't back up.
Well, put it in high. That's your problem. Damn, try it again. You got a winch?
Of course he's got a winch. It's one of the first things you should put on your side-by-side is a winch. But, Jesse, you got to make sure that you put the wires to it, right?
Yeah, mine's wired now. 8 months later.
I was wondering if you were going to let it go or not.
No, I was zooming on a loose butt.
Whoa, look at that thing.
Dude, why'd you do that?
What?
Get stuck on the log. Who does that?
Yeah.
Who the f does that?
Who gets stuck on a log, honestly?
Well, there goes that tree. Hey! Go! Don't go out. Pull it out.
Yeah! Listen to that baby purr.
Get out of the way when that thing goes flat. Breathe into the other side. Good thing it took them about 3 seconds to convince you to come out.
I know. Probably a good idea. My skid plate's off. My clutch cover's off. Yeah.
Well, I wish your top was off.
Whoa! Yeah, right there. Oh yeah, good job, Lou. Good job. I got that footage. Good job.
My two-wheel drive attempt led to this. I can already see through the camera screen. It doesn't look like anything, but we got a nice rut now with water in it.
Hey Hunter, jump in there.
One of the biggest rules is don't listen to Jesse.
Yeah, go in there. Anything you do it. Axel, get over here.
Yeah, and then there's my second hole. Two-wheel drive, probably not a good idea.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.
Alright guys, that's it for this project. The Schmidty racing suspension, high volume caps installed, 200 psi of nitrogen in these bad boys. Got a little bit of ride height back. Still need more, so springs will be needed eventually. Got a little more dirty than what I expected, given the fact that I did not put the clutch cover back on. Thankfully, I don't think much mud got in there, because we are still Bluetooth drive shaft. So left that off. Part of the skid plate's off. You can see grass in there, but it'll be all right. it will be all right. So thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. If you want these videos ad-free, uncensored, check out our Patreon. Link for that's below. We have a bunch of great companies that support this channel. Make sure you go check them out. Some of them we do have coupon codes for, so we can save you a little bit of coin. All that information is down below, so go check that out. And I think that's it for this one. So we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off. Breathe in through nose, out the mouth. Wax on, wax off.